Welcome back to the channel. This is Off the Pitch. If you're joining us for the very first time, this is where we have conversations outside of the field of play and we'll take it off the field of play. And today we'll be driving round and round Austria. And there is one man, of course, who has given us something to talk about. It was a McLaren 1-2 finish in Austria. And it's no other than Lando Norris. Guys, Uncanny Sam and the Bishop joined me another weekend where it was a DNF for Max Verstappen.
Sincerely speaking.
He's having a bad season.
And it's now over.
61.
It's not over.
Now,
It's not over.
61 points. It's over.
Wait.
It's not over. No, 45. I mean 46.
No, 61.
No, 46.
For him, from the leader.
46 ahead of the leader.
From the leader?
Behind the leader.
No,
yeah.
61.
61 from the
61
leader.
and
61,
behind the
It's
right?
not from the leader.
Yes.
Okay, then this guy has 16. I mean 15, right?
Yes,
Yes.
15 points.
Yeah.
Unclear.
But-
You still think
See,
it's not over, Uncanny Sam?
Do you know what I think?
For Max
It's not over.
Verstappen.
Yeah. Last year.
Yeah.
Well,
Last year.
I'm trying to keep my
Yeah.
emotions in check.
Yeah. Last year. It's based on what happened last year.
Yeah.
Last year, the two Red Bull cars started like house
House
on
on
fire.
fire and they
They
capitulated.
won the
Oh,
first
yes.
10.
I agree with
this
you.
thing.
I agree
At some
with
point, he was leading with 70, I think 70 or 79 points. That was when they went on the summer break.
And
When
then
they
that was the
came
end of
back,
it was over.
Red
Cars-
Bull
he
started
won,
struggling.
he struggled and won, I think, with less than 20.
He won, but just a little.
Because he ended up being on the podium just once. That's in Brazil.
And the good thing about this whole thing is
So
the
you
fact
never
that,
can tell what happened. See, they could go on summer break right now, come back. And this guy will start
and the
struggling.
good thing is that both of them have the two McLaren
McLaren
drivers will be helping him, keep him on pace. Because
Not really.
if he wins, and let me explain to you.
Not really. See, they are smart.
Wait,
they are smart.
wait.
They are smart.
You think
Yes.
that there's still a chance for Max Verstappen?
He's not come.
It's not over,
he's
it's not over,
not
it's
come-
not over,
It's
it's
not
not
over.
over,
100%.
it's
The only thing I tell me that is over is the constructor championship.
No, which
That's
that one, yeah, that was over.
that's garbage. Garbage,
But for
out.
drivers,
Go.
for driver
No.
championship,
Championship.
sincerely speaking, is still open. And it's not even him. It's not even Lando Norris. It's Oscar Piastri.
Piastri. Yeah,
Of all
Piastri
people.
leads, of
No,
course.
no.
At the end of last
Piastri
season.
is leading, right?
Yeah, he's
Of
leading.
course
He's
now.
leading.
He has more podium. He
With
has
15
more
points, yeah.
He has more.
But
Grand
no,
Prix
Norris
wins.
too. It's not backing down with it.
This is Norris third
How
of
many? Third of the season. Piastri has 5.
But I think this victory for Norris was quite dominant because
Not dominant.
from the
No, it was a
from
close
the
show.
pole-
It was a
I
very
know,
close
not
race.
dominant. In fact,
It was a close up
He
between
was
two
in
of them.
lead from the start to the finish.
They at some point
the
you could
pole
they were
to-
going. Well, here's the real right. What I love about it is the fact that McLaren is allowing us to enjoy Formula One. They're not giving us the vibe of Messi and
Yes.
this thing.
Wait,
They
no,
allow
lead
because-
driver.
Let's
Two of you are lead. Two of you are just go. Go on. Because
But it gives Hamilton a huge gap that nobody could touch. Bottas will just step down. Hamilton wins and wins the point.
And they made Bottas so much. Valtteri Bottas so much.
And even
Some of those,
made the game
the
boring.
number of Grand Prix that he was supposed to win, he didn't win.
you
them.
didn't win it. Yes.
But with these guys right now, not like little.
Just have fun.
This thing. Yesterday, you remember last week, one of them crashed.
Yeah.
Yes.
They had acting among themselves.
I
One
think
of them
it
crashed.
was
No, 2
it
weeks
was
ago.
Lando
Yeah.
Norris that crashed.
Norris.
Yeah,
It was
crashed.
Norris that
He
crashed.
was causing his luck.
And yesterday they came close. But come on, that's by the way. For Verstappen, I think the god of Formula was just against Verstappen this week. During the qualifiers.
Unfortunately,
Yeah, no,
it
during
was
the qualifiers.
Kim was
No, not even
The
Kim.
Italian.
He
Kim Antonelli.
Antonelli.
He started
He
from
was
the
a big
qualifiers.
guy, yes.
He was on the verge of not finishing where he finished. Then there was a checker
Got there.
flag. I mean,
Yeah.
there was a yellow flag because there was an accident. And somehow he ended up finishing 7.
Yeah.
So in a position that was very unfamiliar. He's one of those guys that hardly finished out of the top 4.
Top 6 or top
Out
4.
of the top 4, yeah, throughout the season.
Top six,
Him
top
and Oscar Piastri, they were always among the top 4. Either second, third, or fourth. Either on the pole position, either second or third or fourth. They hardly goes 5th, 5th, or 6th. But somehow,
Hardly.
when he was trying to make his final charge, probably to finish either 4th or 5th, the yellow flag came in. It came up. And that hampered him from finishing in that position. Then coming to this, see, it was a very funny place because it's hot. I'm talking about Spielberg in Austria.
very well.
Do you know that during the formation lab, Carlos Sainz have to. That was where his own race ended.
Yeah.
Because his car caught fire.
fire.
Overheat. And then,
So now they ended up instead of 71. My boy was just this. He said, you know what? It's supposed to be 71 times, but because one of the formation lab,
70.
because they have to do another formation lab, then I have reduced it to 70.
70 lab.
Because after that, this thing, immediately there was a DNF for what was his name for Carlos Sainz,
Carlos Sainz.
and they have to do another formation lab. After the formation lab, race started. At the first turn, boom, Kimi Antonelli from nowhere hit this guy, and I was thinking it's not going to happen. I was just like, okay, I just hope he can, turn and start and move on.
But
Somehow he said this is the end for me. Like I can move on.
But anyway, the good thing
Bad
is
week for him. No.
I'm
Let me just
good that
finish.
he's unscathed.
Let me just. Do you know the good thing, which is what I want to talk about? The fact that was hospitality. Kimi Antonelli knew he did something.
Yeah.
He wasn't supposed to. It's not his fault though. The first thing he did, he walked up to him and said, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Now,
And of course,
if it
Vance
were...
also said that it happened.
It happens.
He
Yeah.
told him
Now that's what I want to say.
it happens.
But do you know what? If it were
Norris or
Verstappen, no.
Piastri.
If it was Verstappen, the British media, the media would take it so personal. Even if I apologize, they would say no, it was deliberate. Probably because
let's be honest.
Fear is a
Let's
man.
not throw it.
Listen to me. I'm coming.
Let's go back to history.
I'm coming.
History don't
Listen to me. Now this is a man that quickly now he's going to no championship, no
Point,
drivers
no
point,
points.
no championship,
No consensus
this thing,
point.
right? And he was magnanimous. He said, "These things happen. We're
happen,
human.
yeah.
This thing happen." No other driver, Piastri will not accept it that way. Lando Norris will not accept it that way. Hamilton will not accept
Even
it that way.
Hamilton that has finished-
George Russell will not accept it that way.
Has he finished on podium this year?
No, he
And
has
still
not
did
finished on podium.
finish. We'll go there.
He will not accept it that way. But here is a man that has been portrayed to be a very a troublesome. A troublesome person.
Man,
The bad boy of the
A
sport.
troublemaker. They said, look at how he reacted.
And he
It was
told,
like,
and he
you
told,
two
the young,
lost.
he told the young
It
boy
has affected.
that-
It has affected
his
their
chances,
quest for
yeah.
winning the
and he was
championship.
very vocal. He said that it happens.
It
He's
happens.
young and he will learn. That was
And
he
he will
was
learn.
telling Kim that Kim will learn.
And
Now
the
Kim
media-
misjudged the bend and then held a
Kim has
break,
been
took a
on
break
the
when he
discovery.
shouldn't have taken the break.
Kim has been one of the discovery of this thing.
He had a-
Face
he had a
here,
great season,
he has
yeah.
actually he's been finishing on
On podium
Position.
point
Sorry,
position, podium
finish.
position.
They're finishing on podium sometimes.
podium finish. So for me, I expected the media to be like, oh come on, we've been on fear to this young man.
Now, Lando Norris, Piastri.
Yeah.
Two of them going toe to toe with each other, first and second. McLaren definitely enjoying it.
They have a fantastic
of course,
car.
the last British man, if my memory serves me right, was Hamilton to win.
Yeah.
The Formula One Grand Prix. Can Norris, do something this
No.
No, man,
or you think still Piastri
I
will win?
think
it's
it
Piastri.
looks like Piastri because the fact that Piastri is quite consistent, like you said, if he's not winning it in the top two, sometimes Norris
Top three, at worst.
drop out of the top
Yeah.
three. It's time you have bad games and you
But
ask yourself,
both of them are finished. There are 11 races this year.
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
thereabout.
11, yeah.
Both of them are finished on podium 9 times.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
And both of them have DNF. I think.
Yes,
No,
one.
I think
No, that's
The
not
only-
Norris.
No,
in Australia,
Yes.
this guy finished. That's his own country. I'm talking about Piastri. Finished 9th,
Ninth, yeah.
right? Then this guy have one DNF. Talking about
Norris,
That's
yes,
That's
one
just one.
DNF.
Norris
Just
has one
DNF.
DNF.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So let's be realistic, man. I think Piastri is a bit more consistent, and if you follow the
he
the
is.
Formula
For me,
One,
he's a better
lads,
driver. Not
yeah.
even consistent. He's a better driver.
maybe the consistency.
If Piastri is leading now, if
it's
there's
very
a fight
very
between
rare. Yes.
Piastri and Verstappen, if Piastri is leading right,
He's who's gonna
it will
win?
be difficult
For
for
Verstappen
Verstappen
to
to
cover,
overtake
yes.
him.
But
But
If
for
it's
Norris,
Lando Norris,
yeah, it's
Somehow.
somehow.
It can happen.
It can happen.
And the fact that it's not just for Piastri, the fact that it's not just happening overnight.
No.
We saw it from last season. It was
No.
building up.
Funny enough, for last
It was
season,
building
it was
up,
not Piastri. For last season, it was Lando Norris.
We know, but Piastri was building
Yeah,
up.
he was building a bit. Lando
Towards
Norris
the
was
end,
the challenger. No,
towards the ending of the
I
campaign.
understand that, but
Yeah.
he never had the number of.
We know.
Podium
It didn't
fin-
start
fin-
where.
podium
What about the end? We saw the build up that this
I
guy
understand
was.
that. They were talking
It took him
about-
time for
See,
Norris to understand the car.
See, we started shouting about McLaren because of Lando
Lando
Norris.
Norris, yes. But it's,
See,
but when,
as soon as the 10th race was over, as if something happened, as if
To Red Bull.
the McLaren just sit down, just press a button somewhere, and then all of a sudden their car became the fastest car.
And then Red Bull was struggling.
They
no,
made
the
us start struggling.
Red Bull had issues. We also knew this was going to happen.
And
After
that
the
is-
first year and the second year, when we knew
So
it was going to happen.
see,
It was
all
this was gonna
eyes.
happen.
If I thought there's going to be a lead driver, since he's supposed to be Lando Norris. He was the main person last season.
Well, no,
And if-
I understand
so-
where you're coming
no,
from. I'm saying
it is a
I'm
surprise.
looking at the tail end of the
No,
season.
here is the bright. It's a surprise that things are turning out to be this way. That Piastri is now the guy instead of Lando Norris, because everybody thought Lando is going to be
Was
the guy.
the guy who-
Yeah, so it's a surprise for us. It's not
Well,
something
I know
that we
it's a
expected.
surprise.
Yeah, it is. It is.
But
we have to accept
I'm
that
from
fact.
one who followed the race a lot, and
Yeah.
I try to read. I like to read readings.
Yeah,
Towards the end of last season,
yeah.
Piastri gave us a sign of "I'm coming."
But he
Towards
was
the
never.
ending.
He was never ahead of Lando.
We know. I'm not saying he was giving us. I was coming. As when he started sitting on the fire, I told him I was not surprised. I felt maybe not like I agree with you that I felt that Lando Norris would edge him based on the
Lando
fact
is
that
supposed to be the lead driver.
yes,
ordinarily.
but the boy has come and has come good, and we should give
He's
him
doing very
flowers.
well.
Now,
Yeah, you
let's
have to
talk
give
about
him.
Hamilton. We cannot, of course, stop talking about him. Not
Well,
again. Yet another no podium finish.
Finishing fifth.
Fourth.
Fourth.
Yeah, he finished fourth.
Like I said,
Yeah.
In
I finally
Austria.
agree that look, I mean, it's not undusted for him. It's not undusted for him. Gives me the Novak Djokovic
Ferrari.
vibe, you understand?
No, nobody says it. No, one of those says the car. He's
not
the
the car.
Ferrari now. He's
It's
the
not the
one.
car.
Because even the Ferrari driver was ahead of him. He
Yeah,
finished third.
Charles Leclerc is
Charles
always ahead of
Leclerc.
him. Charles always
Leclerc
ahead of him.
always ahead
So
of him.
it's not about the car.
It's not about the car anymore.
It's about, I think, the skill. It's about the ability again. It's about the competency.
Exactly.
That's basically what is happening right
But
now.
anyway, he's heading to the British Grand Prix. His favorite track.
Favorite track,
So you
which
think
is
he'll
which is
win?
one of the few. I think he won
yeah.
twice last year,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
One is in Silverstone. Then the second one, he didn't actually win, but because of
The
a
race
violation,
end, yeah.
a particular violation,
Yeah.
and I think Lando or Piastri car was said to be lighter than
Lighter than normal-
supposed to be.
normal
That's how
fuel.
he became
Yeah,
the winner in that
yeah.
particular this thing. Since he's been in shadow of himself since 2021, it seems what happened in 2021 affected him psychologically. And it now affects his capacity and
As a
capability
driver.
as a driver. He's been struggling, like we all agree. That's why I feel the gamble that Ferrari did was not supposed to be. Mercedes, just like, sorry to digress a little, it's just like what Aston is trying to do with what's his name, Party. Mercedes said, look, we know you're old, you're 40, so we're going to give you just 1 year
contract.
and the money is not as much as what Ferrari offered him. He's like, Ferrari came from Norway, probably because of his name. They
Yeah.
thought he's going to bring
Bring that.
you were not doing bad with what you were doing. Because I'm trying to remember the second driver last season. They were not doing bad, right? Then all of a sudden he went for him. And he's been struggling. He's been the shadow of himself.
Can't even finish in podium in 11 races.
That's sad.
Come on,
And
Not just him. Ferrari has been on podium just
I
twice
think
this season.
prior to last year, which he ended up without finishing in the podium and winning a race.
No, he
Yeah,
won
they
a
were-
race
no,
last
he
year.
won- he won it last year.
Silverstone.
He won
British
the
Grand
Silverstone.
Prix.
What was which year was that? Because I
No,
know
no,
he's-
no.
he
No, he has
always won.
Yeah, so I just hope he keeps up that because I'm a bit scared for him this year.
No, he's gone now. He's done and dusted. If I were him
But
beyond this year, I'm gonna retire.
let's be sincere, man. If you look at Mark Verstappen, I don't want to digress a bit. I leave Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah.
You know, there've been a lot of cry. The same issue we had when it was in Mercedes, was complaining about the cars. The cars was not good enough. Lewis Hamilton was complaining about the car.
Yeah.
And the car is not as quick as the Ferraris and the
No,
the
Mercedes,
Red Bulls.
at some point, Mercedes was the fastest car.
No, but Lewis
Until after
Hamilton was
2021,
complaining that he was not as fast as Red Bull.
Until after 2021. Until after 2021.
We
That's when he started
I
complaining.
understand.
But before 2021,
But-
sorry to cut you
Yeah.
short, to even prove that to you, it was even a battle between him and Valtteri Bottas. It
Him
was
and
the two
Bottas,
Mercedes
yes,
cars that
yes,
were dominating.
always,
Just like they
always.
had the Red Bull did in the last two
Last two
seasons.
seasons,
Sergio Perez and
Verstappen.
Max Verstappen. So it was the two Ferrari, it was the two Mercedes. So prior to 2021, Mercedes was wonderful. It was after 2021 that Mercedes became a bit slower. They couldn't, it had
And that
to
is
be
what he's
technology.
complaining about. He was complaining about the car wasn't too fast, so he wanted to move for a greener pasture.
In-
I just hope this guy.
They
Mark-
didn't offer him what he wanted. If they offered him what he wanted, he would
he had a very good relationship with Wolf.
Yeah,
felt he
but
would have-
look at what he got from Ferrari.
From Ferrari.
2 years, high amount of,
Good money.
Good money. So
So
he has to move.
it's
While
fine.
with Mercedes,
no
1 year.
loyalty in sport, right?
Yeah?
No loyalty in sport.
Well, at the age of 40, what else are you looking for? I mean, if you be treated like a Ronaldo, why won't you go for it?
Well,
You understand? If you be treated like Ronaldo, why won't you go for it?
Money, no, they make it.
But Mark Verstappen, but a little bit. Let's talk about
Now,
Mark
for
Verstappen.
Verstappen, right?
Yeah, a bit of Mark Verstappen. And I want to say something about Mark Verstappen. I feel he may leave. I know prior to the race, and this
To
guy
where?
was he would join up with Mercedes. I listened to was George Russell was saying something that before the race started that he feels that the Mercedes are already talking with him. He said something during his presser.
It's unconfirmed.
It's unconfirmed. No, Russell was saying something. He feels like it's gonna, and I'm trying to feel maybe it could be. It
Johnny
could be-
Mercedes next season.
Exactly. Dude, there could be a lead, like I said, there's no smoke without fire. It could be that maybe that deal could be something that Mark Verstappen should be looking at because I don't think this Red Bull car is getting any better.
The truth is this about these things is this, right? As slow as the Red Bull car is, it's still, I think it's faster than Mercedes.
Is it
right?
still faster than
Yeah,
Mercedes?
because I think after McLaren, I think it's Ferrari.
Ferrari.
After Ferrari, which car before? I'm trying. It's not Mercedes. Is it Mercedes? Is Mercedes faster than? I'm not so sure. Right. So if I were him,
Yeah, I think Mercedes are ahead of Red Bull.
okay.
Yeah.
In
If
the
I
constructors.
no,
championship, but in terms of fastness.
no, I'm talking about fastness. Even in construction, no.
No,
Are
yeah,
they?
Mercedes are ahead of
Okay,
Red Bull.
okay.
They're
Because
ahead
of
of
what
Red
happened
Bull,
this week.
yes, they're ahead of
Because
Red
this
Bull.
week, none of
DNF.
Mercedes, no, yeah,
No.
DNF and Yuki Tsunoda finished, I think, either 15 or 16 or 17, but he has 10-second penalty, which automatically took him to the last position. Because there was 6 DNF yesterday. 6. It started with Carlos Sainz. Then
McLaren leads with 417 points. Ferrari are in second with 210 points.
Yeah.
And of
Yeah,
course,
the gap is much.
Mercedes are behind with just a point.
yeah, it's because of what
Very
happened
close.
yesterday. If only this guy finished in a position where there was a point, that in a position that you
get a
award him a
point,
point,
yeah.
probably they wouldn't have been there. Like I said, yesterday there were 6 which is the highest so far this season. It started with what's his name, Carlos Sainz, before we even
Before
start
we
the race.
even moved.
Then shortly in the first round, in the first lap, we have 2 cars going down. But the first of the race yesterday, which is the biggest snap yesterday, was Liam Lawson. I mean, Gabriel Bortoleto, the Brazilian guy. The first time since Felipe Massa, a Brazilian who's barely 20, finished in that position. I think he finished 8th yesterday, which is the highest. this season. He's a young driver too. Him
Yeah,
and
very
Lawson
young
came. Yeah,
I
he's just coming.
one of the
Him, Lawson,
very
and
young
Kim
guys,
Antonelli.
There's so many young drivers.
Antonelli.
Yeah. So all this while he has never finished in a position in such high. No, he finished. No, okay, he finished 8th. Then Liam Lawson finished 6th. So it was like a weekend for the rookies. 2 rookies that have been struggling, that have never finished in a position that
I think
was
the rookies
enticing.
are coming up because
But as
the
soon
last
as
race
it seems,
was Kim.
No, it seemed as soon as Kim went down, because Kim too went out. Yeah, at the
yes.
same time with was this?
Verstappen.
They're like, you know what? Let's prove to these guys that we can do something. So Liam Lawson finished 6th. Then Gabriel Bortoleto finished 8th, which is a celebration yesterday. The first time in Brazilian, because last time we saw that was Felipe Massa. That was 8 years ago. Then all of a sudden, this guy that nobody gave him a chance. We never thought that he's going to finish, that he will even finish a position where he will be awarded a point awarding position. But he did that yesterday. So I think that was the highlight of the race yesterday. Liam Lawson and Gabriel Bortoleto.
Well, of course, the Formula One now moves the train, or let me say the circuits, and the cars now move to Britain.
And it's
of course,
so
in the first week of July.
unfortunate that in that Britain that you're talking about, Kim is going to be given a 3-place penalty.
Yeah,
even if he finishes
First.
in pole position, he'll start as number 3.
In everything.
So if he finish 20,
God,
they will
I
shift
forgot what
to
happened.
another
Yeah,
this.
I forgot
Yeah,
what
because
happened,
I mean, it was his fault and he has to be punished.
Yeah, agreed.
And he has to
Yeah,
start. Of course, no,
No,
he didn't
forgive
deny
the
that.
young boy. He's
Even
a
though
small boy now.
my boy was saying that no, it wasn't his fault. He was trying
It
to.
was not his fault now.
No, he said
saw the
somebody
crash
pushed him to
and
do that. No, somebody. My boy was telling me. I'm trying to
I
remember.
think it was just a point of he misjudged.
Yeah,
that was just it.
Then
It was
no,
a
the
misjudgment.
margin of the
But you
brake,
know
the
this
margin of the
is
brake,
now-
and the brake failed him. The brake became a bit stiff. Then
God, the
So
great-
speed
come
and
on.
everything.
Sometimes, not be said that computer. They
But
drive
what?
this
See,
car.
he
You
has
want
enjoyed. See, Kimi Antonelli has enjoyed his own share of
Yeah.
wherever.
Of
going
the
right.
spotlight.
Let's give it to Gabriel and Liam Lawson. They
Now,
did
that's-
amazingly
and
well.
Even the funny thing about Liam Lawson, I think the way he came into the Formula this season was, surprising.
No, he was there last season. I think he replaces when this guy left, Ricardo.
It was playing as a reserve driver. He was coming into
when
once
Ricardo
in a
left
while.
last season,
Yeah.
Liam Lawson came in, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, when Ricardo left last season, because at some point Ricardo left last. Was it Ricardo? Yeah, then Ricardo now.
It was Ricardo.
Yeah, Ricardo left at some point last season. It was Liam Lawson that replaced him. And so since then, I mean, look, the Formula One is a very crazy and a very tricky, sport. You must be extremely, extremely good. Guess what? Prizes are won and lost with seconds. Seconds. 2 seconds, 3 seconds. We're not talking about minutes. We're not talking about seconds.
Seconds now. I
So
think
you must be
I think
extremely.
the guy who finished second was 17 seconds just.
Not
behind.
up to. Not up to. Till the end. The difference between
But
1
this-
and 2.
but this
Piastri.
third I think this guy was 17 seconds.
Okay, but
Yes.
because
Yeah.
Piastri and Lando
The 10 was
Norris
7 seconds
was
from the
about
lead.
4 seconds. 4 seconds different.
Well,
That's how tight and that's how competitive
tight,
it
yeah.
is.
wait to see what happens in Britain. But for now, Oscar Piastri leads the Formula One and is closely followed, yes, by his fellow McLaren driver Lando Norris with Max Verstappen, defending champion,
Ferrari, 3-4.
coming in third with his Red Bull car.
Yeah.
And for the constructors champion,
Ferrari.
Verstappen, I'm talking about Max Verstappen is third overall. No, overall,
Overall,
not,
yeah. Red Bull,
in third
yeah,
with Red Bull. But for the constructors championship, it is safe to say congratulations to McLaren already.
Yeah.
It is safe to
We've
say
seen that happen several times. Yeah.
21 point there
To
about.
about 200 points.
And
They won it last year.
there's nobody stopping
Won
them,
last year.
them
Yeah,
for now.
they won it
But
last year.
until we get to the British Grand Prix, maybe just maybe
I don't
the
expect
first
to do
win,
anything.
just maybe
For Lewis Hamilton.
the first win for Lewis Hamilton this year in Formula One. But until then,
Kai, I doubt much.
off the pitch,
So to say this, right? Same was said about what was his name? Charles Leclerc going to
When he
Monaco.
went Monaco, yes, and
And he ended up I think,
capitulated.
second or third.
let's the benefit of the doubt for Lewis Hamilton. But until then, let's see
if
he can.
Hamilton has actually been competitive enough this season. I
You
would
will have said
agree with you.
okay.
But he has not been competitive.
He hasn't been. He hasn't been.
He has not been
He hasn't
competitive.
been.
If you come to Nigeria, go give her waiting, go make her they competitive. Off the pitch, brought to you by Azar Studios.